Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time, back with the Sunday guest, friend of the channel, Mr. Todd Baldwin. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So one of the things we do with my guests every couple of months is I just flip the script and I let you ask me any questions you would want, either about our story, what I'm doing now in the future, whatever you want to know. Generally speaking, I'm an open book. So the floor is yours. Ask away.
Cool. So the first question is, what's your credit card number? And I would ask, what do you think is the number one factor that holds people back in all of your experience of doing real estate and building businesses and stuff like that? What holds people back that want to do this or want to succeed, but they don't?
Oh, wow. So a lot of things running through my head. But if I had to pick the number one thing is most people are addicted to the microwave life. I don't know how else to say that. Instant gratification. Nothing I teach, nothing I talk about, none of my experts, all of them millionaires that I talk to every week, I will tell you that the first 3 to 4 to 5 years weren't hard. Most of them will tell you that people would not want that their life. They want their lives now. All of them have amazing lives now, but almost nobody would sacrifice, including like Olivia and I. So yeah, it's a 10-year process. I mean, it's why it's rule number 6 on my rules. It's a 5 to 10 year commitment. Get rich for sure, not quick. Yeah. Everybody wants it now. Everybody wants to think about, like you and I did a choices exercise earlier today. It's fun to think about the Mac Daddy, but nobody wants to realize, well, the key is to go backwards, right? You live in this way, go backwards so you can have the Mac Daddy. Nobody wants that. Everybody wants quick money. Everybody believes these idiots jumping fences, taking pictures in front of planes. It's work, it's sacrifice, it's consistency. And most of us are soft. We'd rather not sacrifice. We'd rather be comfortable, I guess. Well, hopefully that's not too harsh, but that's what I think it is.
Hey, if it's the truth, it doesn't matter if it's harsh or not. People got to hear it. Okay, so what in your opinion, what do Americans today get wrong about capitalism or socialism?
I've never been asked that question. So again, if people don't know, I have an econ degree, so I've been studying these things, including communism, for well over several decades. What most people don't realize about socialism is it often feels good in the moment, right? But what you don't realize is everything has unintended consequences. The economy is an organism. And think about this, right? We gave out roughly $4 trillion because we had to, right? We shut down the economy. We made it impossible for some people to work. We shut down their stuff. So we gave people money. Then we gave them more money. And then we gave them more money. And I told people 18 months ago that inflation is and has always been a monetary phenomenon. And what that means in simple English is too much cash chasing too few goods. What happened in 18 months ago, or whatever the time frame is? We printed a bunch of cash, we gave it to people, and we didn't produce anything. So that is a horrible recipe for inflation. And where are we now? It was predictable. I called it 18 months ago. It's like, this is not going to end well. This is not going to end well. We saw asset price inflation immediately. Now we're seeing food and some other things. And sure, if you're not paying attention, you could point at the horrible events occurring in the Ukraine and say, oh, it's all Putin's fault. Are you not paying attention? We had 8% bogus CPI. I've done the math. It's actually 11.2 before any of that happened. Yes, that will make it worse, no doubt. And yes, I believe food inflation and food insecurity is going to be a worse problem 6 months from now than today. Because again, wheat is a crop. You have to be planting it now to collect it later. And we are screwing up. There will be hundreds of millions of people impacted by less food in 6 to 9 months. And again, it's all predictable, but people want to act in the moment. They want to do this or that. They want this for free, that for free, not realizing that there's all kinds of costs. I have been to Russia. I've been there. I've been to China, communist, socialist areas. And let me just tell you, their people are not happy. Their selection criteria, it's not good. And the beauty about the US is if you want that life, you can move there. Go ahead. It's free. Get on a plane, go there. Capitalism certainly is not fair. It has winners and losers. Risk is not always guaranteed to pay off. There is a downside. It's like seasons, right? The best analogy I have is there's 4 seasons, right? Winter, spring, fall, summer. That is capitalism, right? There is expansion. There is contraction. There is good times. There are bad times. And if you just let life happen, the seasons are going to eat you alive. But if you understand, you appreciate, you are the what is it? The ant versus the grasshopper.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of save when times are good and you take advantage when times are, it's all there for you. Capitalism is not perfect. It is not perfect, but it's the best system out there, in my opinion. So yeah, and again, a lot of people talk about socialist countries and they've never been there. I've been to I've been to 70 or 80 countries in the world. Many of them somewhere between socialist and communist. Trust me, their people are not happy. Their standard of living is not great. And some of the, you just walk around Russia and everybody is, so let's give a time frame. This was probably, when were we in Russia? 2005, 2004, 2005. So generally speaking, good time before the Great Recession. Yeah. So yeah, I've seen it. It's not great.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the biggest thing that particularly younger people don't understand is capitalism is a system where the people decide who have all the money, and socialism is a system where the government decides who has all the money.
Well, just think about what's going on in Russia right now, because it's in the headlines and you hear this term oligarch, right? Some of you might translate oligarch is the big rich people. Well, okay, but they were picked, right? They were picked. It wasn't Elon Musk who took his PayPal winnings, rolled that into SpaceX and Tesla and Boring Company and this and that and this and that and solved gargantuan problems and thus was rewarded. No, it's, hey, here are my 7 buddies sitting around the table. You get the mines, you get this, you get that, you get this. Congratulations, you're billionaires.
Yeah.
And oh, by the way, communist, let's just say the system is ripe for theft. What are we seeing now? Well, that really powerful Russian military, not so powerful. They're running on rations that are 10 years old because Joe Schmo military guy bought $1 billion boat or something. It's shocking what is going on in the theft that can happen. And again, communism, 100 people are picked to be rich and powerful. Capitalism, you can come from nothing, right? Elon Musk came from very little to be the richest person on the planet because of capitalism. You can't do that. Most places, if you're in a communist society, or you're like, nope, you are always going to be that. That is horrible. If I was always going to be what I was born into, it would be not good. Not good.
Yeah, I know some countries used to have an aptitude test when you were like 3 or 4 that predicted what you're going to do. Like if you were 3 years old, you take a test, you're like, okay, perfect. You're going to be a janitor when you're 20 and you have no choice.
Or a doctor, right? Either way.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. So one last question I'll ask you. Okay, would you say this is true or false? In a developed country like the United States, anyone can become wealthy?
Absolutely. Yeah, I believe that with every fiber of my body, and I have evidence to back that up. Right? There's a small set of folks that physically stuff happened when they were born or life events that make it nearly impossible. But the large majority, certainly 99%, 98%, can do it. It takes years. It takes focus. It takes discipline. It's all possible. Most people who can work can make work completely optional in 10 years or less. That is amazing. And then lastly, I want to close on this concept of wealth. I want to be very, very clear. In my eyes, if you wake up, put your feet on the ground, and you can honestly say you are happy doing whatever it is you do, I want to congratulate you because you won. Most of you aren't like that. Shoot, most of you aren't like that on Saturday. But if you can wake up 7 days a week, foot on the ground, and you are happy, from me to you, you won. Most of us aren't there. If you want to get there, it takes time, sacrifice, consistency. I can honestly say right now, every day I wake up with my feet on the ground, Olivia wakes up, my daughter wakes up, right? The 5, 6, 7 most closest people to me wake up and they're healthy. I'm happy. I'm just happy. It's an amazing feeling. And I think anybody can have it. It takes time. But yeah, I really do believe that.
Awesome. Well, thank you for letting me ask you those questions. I appreciate it.
It was funny. I just never know where these are going to go. So I appreciate it. Never had those questions before. Where can people find you?
Yes, on Instagram, you can find me at Todd J. Baldwin. And on YouTube, if you just Google Todd Baldwin, I'll hopefully pop right up. Check my SEO. But yeah, I post content about making money, saving money, and investing money pretty much every day on YouTube.
Awesome, man. Thanks again.